How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Rosewater, a point-and-click Western adventure, and I'm super excited to get into it. So let's start it right now.
Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jim. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Leger.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Leger?
All right, what brings us to our fair town? I'm here for a job. Lie, I'm just passing through. That's none of your business.
Miss.
I don't see
And I'm
any
here
point
about a
in-
job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, well, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl.
But I was never quite so dumb. But I would never cried as much as you, but I never got caught. Let's
But
just
I didn't
say we
start
never cried as
blubbering
much.
when things went south. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office?
All right, let's find the publisher's office. Can I scroll? Yep. Blacksmith, the physician. Let's just keep on going. There we go. Post and publishing. Jesus. I really want to ignore him and enter the office, but we'll ask him how
Holy
he's doing.
hell! Are you all right, mister?
I'll get the
Don't you move.
doctor.
I'll fetch the doctor to have a look at you.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
I've just arrived today, but this isn't the time for formalities. There's an emergency.
How can I be of service?
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater Post?
Yes. How did you...
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
Here he is, poor bastard.
Oh, dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact, no obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right. He's in a bad way, but he'll live. I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Mrs.
Leger. Miss. And it was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Of course. All right. Let's actually enter the building.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Legere. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please?
All right. I think it's I to open the inventory. Perfect. And let's select it and give it to him.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Hit an autosave. So let's see what awaits us upstairs. Nice little printing press they got there.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Legere.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Give my life story. Provide a succinct biography. Avoid the question. I think we're gonna go with the middle option.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Britannia, got out, made my way west, and started writing. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre. Thought a change of scenery would do me good.
Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as cosmopolitan as it used to be, but maybe you'll find it to your liking.
There hasn't been a dull moment since I stepped off the train.
Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. I haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the toffs in Lyon, hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
Also, I forgot to mention this is an alternate history, so some of the places and stuff might not exist. All right, let's tell her the truth. We're in a job interview after
I
all.
had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Fantastic. Hot damn. Well, I think we'll just stick with the fantastic.
Fantastic. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Pull the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
Who is that man that flew out the window? You said Rosewater Post covered the Lamplight City Expo. What can you tell me about Rosewater? Can I write something else? Let's not ask for a different assignment on our first job.
So,
Who
who was
that
the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see.
Should have asked for more money if we're the only ones that applied. All right. You said the Rosewater Post covered the Lamplight City Expo.
The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
was only the biggest story that year. I've still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Disaster at the Lamplight City Expo. This is a big article. The Ithoric Pavilion at the Global Exposition in New Britannia, Kingsland, was site of a terrifying disaster that claimed 15 lives on Saturday. During a demonstration by Ithoric researcher Dr. Bennett Clark, a device known as an Ithoric generator malfunctioned and released a burst of energy into the audience, instantly vaporizing 14 attendees on one stage assistant. An eyewitness described the scene for the New Britannia Gazette. The thing started up with a great crackling noise, startling the ladies in attendance and raising several cries of excitement. In the next instant, there was a blinding flashlight. After that, there was just screams and a horrible burning smell. From where I stood, I could see that a bunch of folks gathered to one side of the apparatus were just gone. All that was left were shoes and hat, things in a pile of ash, and the worst thing was their shadows were still there on the wall behind. A controversial figure in the scientific community, Dr. Clark has championed novel theories on the existence of an aetheric and supposedly inexhaustible source of energy located in the upper atmosphere. The Aetheric Pavilion, an exhibit jointly sponsored by Casely Industry, Harmon & Grove, and Eastern Consolidated Coal, was intended to showcase the technology's potential before the global audience, although public enthusiasm may be somewhat dampened following the events of last weekend. Dr. Clark was taken in for questioning by authorities, but it remains to be seen whether he or his sponsors will be held legally responsible for the lives lost in the accident. PM calls for Aetheric ban. Alright, I probably won't leave all of these up. I'll just pause it if you'd like to read it, and let's keep on moving.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
What can you tell me about Rosewater?
Any insight you can give me about the town?
It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but, oh, I don't know. Folk who moved on took some of the charm with them.
Tell me about the townspeople.
What about the folks who stayed behind?
What about him?
Alright. Well, could you tell me more about them?
I was hoping for more details.
Far as you're concerned, the only person in Rosewater worth knowing right now is Jake Ackerman. If you're so keen to know about the rest, go meet him for yourself.
Alright, kind of rude.
I'd
I'll
best
be on my way.
Right you are. Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
Alright, so we're kind of a badass, to be honest.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
So we have to write a fluff piece. We can use that typewriter, or we can look in here or talk to this gentleman. Let's talk to Dixon, I think his name was.
Excuse me?
How can I be of assistance?
What's to know about this town?
You picked a fine time to arrive, Miss Legere.
Why's that?
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street. It was so full of folk coming and going. I'm sure you've noticed that's no longer the case.
Now it's just a ghost town. Alright, let's see what happened.
So where did everyone go?
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my guess. There's still some prospectors hanging on, convinced they'll find something everyone else missed. I'm sure they'll all come to their senses eventually.
If they all go, where will that leave you?
Why, getting by, I imagine. Peaceful, quiet life. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west or shipping goods back east. Although not as many as before the transcontinental airship line opened up. Easier to sail clear over the country than ride the rails halfway. Suits me fine, though.
I'll let you get back to work.
I'll leave you to your work.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, let's take a look at these over here.
That cabinet's better organized than I'll ever be.
Perfect. All right, let's see if we can write the article.
Unless I want to write a piece of pure fiction, I should probably collect some material first.
Makes sense. Let's step outside. So, who do we have to write an article about again? Padlocks, deadbolts. We have 20 crowns. Tire entries not available. Okay, so let's maybe go talk to the sheriff. Oh, maybe he'll know something about the Achilles of this time. Or maybe we can see how the dude is doing. Is he doing any? Are you feeling better?
Hello again,
Ooh, you got
Miss
glass in your
Leger.
arm.
I'm pleased to say your friend should make a full recovery.
He's not my friend. He just fell out the window and almost crushed me.
I see. Well, it was good of you to come get me. Plenty of folks around here would have turned a blind eye. I realize in all the commotion we weren't properly introduced. I'm Dr. Sedgwick.
Guess the sign wasn't lying then. I'm Harley.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. Mind if I have a look around?
Not at all.
Let's look at this hand washing station.
I imagine you get your hands pretty dirty in this line of work?
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of tiny animalcules living on the surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastards, huh?
Something like that.
Hey, Doc, is that mess of noodles really what our insides look like?
Indeed, Miss Leger. The human body truly is a marvel.
I suppose that's one word for it.
Look at all these chemicals.
Quite a variety of potions and tonics you've got here, Doc.
It's only a small part of the bounteous pharmacopoeia that nature might make available to us, if only we knew her secrets. There is so much to be discovered.
All right, let's see what's going on with him. Let's talk to him.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I wouldn't try talking to him just now, Miss Leger. I gave him a mild narcotic to numb the pain. He'll be out of sorts for a while.
He doesn't
let's
look
at
half
him.
bad, all things considered.
No, he was lucky. Once I'm done here and the laudanum wears off, he should be right as rain.
Hey, Doc,
Miss Leger.
got
What
any
can you tell
knowledge
me?
to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
What do you know about the townsfolk? The other
You
townsfolk?
must know all about the townsfolk.
I am well acquainted with all their ailments, proclivities, and vices. But if you're just seeking gossip, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
I'll
I'd
see you
best
later,
be on my
Doc.
way.
Do take care of yourself.
All right, let's go talk to the sheriff. The blacksmith is closed. I can pull on... Let's just look at it.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles.
Well, we'll pull on it.
This padlock's not going anywhere. Not without encouragement.
Alrighty. Can we talk to you? Can't talk there. Alright, let's go talk to the sheriff.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat. I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Leger.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or?
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
Nice place, very picturesque. The welcoming committee leaves a lot to be desired. Let's do that.
Can't say much for the welcoming committee.
Beg pardon?
I wasn't in your town but 2 minutes when I was accosted by a pair of gutter snipes. They should thank their lucky stars I was in a good mood.
Dang it. I keep telling Jim to stop with that town greeter malarkey, but that boy's got a head harder than granite. I've been too soft. I ought to throw him in lockup until he gets his head on straight.
Yes,
Trust
sir.
me, that'll only make things worse. Besides, I don't think they've yet written a statute outlawing vexatiousness.
You've a forgiving nature, Miss Leger. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. If you run into any more trouble, come and see me.
Will do. Let's talk to
Hey,
you.
Sheriff?
What can I do you for?
How long have
Just
you been
how
the
long
sheriff?
have you been the sheriff here anyway?
Oh, couple years now. Like most everyone else, I came to Rosewater in '48, when we thought the hills were full of Orem. Except I stayed when it turned out they weren't.
You were a prospector?
Yep. But it turns out lawman was a more stable career.
Did you hear about the guy that thrown out
Were
the
you
window?
aware that a man was thrown from the window at the Rosewater Post?
Is that right? Who was it?
Never saw him before. Looked New Spanish.
Is he alive?
Yes, he's in Doc Sedgwick's care.
Well, that's good. Sounds like I need to have words with Joni, though.
Thanks for the
talking to
chat,
you.
Sheriff.
Come
All right, we
back
need to find this
anytime.
gentleman to write an article about. Can we go this way? All right, let's go. Oh. Let's go back. Very blue coat, sir. Let's keep on adventuring through Rosewater. See what's going on. Alright, the saloon.
Was your meeting satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Alrighty. We got the Undertaker, the saloon, the general store. I think we'll go to the saloon. I hear that piano music playing.
Food delivery for the lazy. Warning, watch the dang door. Signed, management.
Got some good vibes in here. Let's go talk to this gentleman.
Excuse me, kid, I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
But I need to speak to him.
It's important I speak with Gentleman Jake.
I'm sure. Of course, he always strives to make time for his admirers. Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about it, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, it's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here.
Makes sense.
I bet that piano hasn't been tuned since the De Leon administration. She's making the best of it, though.
Whoops.
The local populace getting sloshed.
What time is the
Gentleman
show?
Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You
Okay,
won't want to
at the
miss a
theater.
second of it.
Let's go to the theater. Can't go that way. I'm guessing that's the theater down there. The Rosewater Opia House. All right. Hey, let's see what this show's about. There's this guy again.
You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What in the ether are you doing here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
No, I think I talked your for a lesson.
Nah, but your little friend might think twice about hoodwinking strangers again.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
You just walked away when your brother got caught?
Your brother? And you just strolled away? I ought to knock you into a
Yes.
cocked hat.
Hey, you gotta look out for number one.
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent grifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a flip if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now, can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
What job is that?
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show. Only 20 coppers.
All right, I need to buy a ticket.
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell! And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Oh, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
Seriously?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
Sounds like he's hustling me.
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. Course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line, and I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what? By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
Offer a bribe. How about 2 crowns and we forget all this favor nonsense? Where's your brother now? That sounds like a matter for the law. I'll do it, but only get in. Let's try to bribe him. We have 20 crowns.
You said you and your brother needed money. How about 2 crowns?
Well, now, that's mighty kind of you. But this don't change the deal.
Oh my god.
Why, you
I
little
just got ahead.
bastard.
You want in, you gotta do me that favor.
All right.
The blacksmith's got a giant padlock on the door.
So?
So I'm not breaking into private property?
I told you the place is abandoned. Lola's squatting in there. Besides, it's not really breaking in if you're retrieving something stolen. Sheriff Gamble won't trouble himself over it, trust me. And if you run into Lola, I'm sure someone like you can handle her.
I don't want to trust him. All right. I'm not doing any favors. Let me in, or let's try intimidating him. He already took 2 crowns.
Let me in, or you're going to be sorry.
Aw, come on. It's really not a big deal. It'll take you 2 seconds.
Can I punch him? Perfect.
Not interested.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
You can keep those crowns to pay the doctor.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's watch this
boys
show.
and girls of all ages, are you ready for some thrills? Are you ready for some excitement? Are you ready for some fun?
We'll stay quiet.
Then without further ado, may I present the star of our show, the last last man standing at the Bleachbone Girls Showdown. The only man to defeat bastard Billy Boakes in a duel. The man who discovered a gentleman, then gifted it to an orphanage. Gentleman Jake Ackerman!
Thank you, Charlie, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gentleman Jake's Wild West. We got a heck of a performance for you today, but first, allow me to introduce my brave and loyal assistant, Danny Luo. Now let's get this show on the road. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you rope a steer. Keep it going, Danny. Maybe you'll lasso yourself one someday.
We'll stay quiet.
The sun beat down upon them as the duelists stood and stared. But Billy Boakes had never fought somebody so prepared. Jake drew his gun, and bang! The bastard crashed down with a thud. The legendary foe lay dead, defeated, in the mud.
And now for a most challenging proposition, perhaps the greatest feat of marksmanship to which a man can set his sights. You see those 5 juggling balls that Charlie keeps whirling aloft in such a dizzying display? Ladies and gentlemen, affix your eyes on that green ball in particular, and do not dare blink. For with but a single bullet, I will pluck it from the very air.
That seems dangerous. Let's give him a heck. We need an interview. We'll just stay quiet.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank you all so much. You've been a truly magnanimous, magnificent, and majestic audience.
And you can take home a piece of the legend. Come on down to the Jack of Diamonds to get an autograph or a souvenir ferrotype. We'll be there until last call. Stop by and shake hands with Gentleman Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
All right, well, we know where we need to go. Back to the saloon, attempt to win an autograph, and ask him a couple questions. Oh no, the sheriff's here.
Miss Legere, we meet again.
What's the problem?
Well, this young man tells me you're responsible for the condition of his brother over there. Now, I know this ain't your first run-in with the boy, but I can't stand by while folks take the law into their own fists, as it were.
Does this mean I'm under arrest?
Afraid so. Come with me to the station, if you wouldn't mind.
They tried pickpocketing me.
2 assaults in one day. Is it a full moon or something?
I say nothing to you. I have nothing to say to you.
For what it's worth, I'm glad somebody finally put Jim in his place. But that's all I'll say on the matter. Do keep your hands to yourselves in there, ladies.
Okay, so...
Roughed up Jim, did you?
He pickpockets me. That's infuriating. Who did you rough up?
I did. Who'd you rough up?
Some little punk I caught trying to break into my place.
Let me guess. Scrawny runt? Face like a leaky pump handle?
If your well water runs red sometimes.
My warning clearly didn't do a lick of good. Maybe you managed to teach him something.
Oh, I barely touched the boy. Pity the sheriff here didn't see it that way.
Seems that between the two of us, we've taken down the whole local ragamuffin syndicate.
And yet we're in jail.
I'm Harley Legere.
Lola Johnson.
Well, how serendipitous. Jem wanted me to get his pocket watch back from you.
His watch, huh?
Yeah, I had a feeling he was trying to pull something.
Seems like everybody in this damn town is. I'm making tracks soon as they let me out of here.
Afternoon, Sheriff Gamble.
Mr. Ackerman, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I heard you got the lady who was raising Cain at my show.
That's right, in the cell there. The one with both her eyes.
Might I have a word with the prisoner?
Go on, then.
Miss Legere, I presume?
Uh-huh.
Way that kid told it, I was expecting you to be at least a foot taller.
Glare at him.
Ah, the strong, silent type. I can respect that. I was merely hoping you'd indulge my curiosity. In all the time I've been performing, I've never seen somebody so hell-bent on a seat they knocked out the ticket taker. So, what compelled you to do it?
The kid got on my bad side. I didn't feel like running pointless errands. I like punching people. I think I didn't feel like running pointless errands. He got on my bad side.
That little twerp's been a thorn in my side since the moment I set foot in town. I'd had it up to here with his antics, so I let him have it.
I see. Not one to suffer fools, are you?
Not if I can help it.
An admirable quality.
Now that I've answered your question, would you answer a few of mine?
Ah, right. Danny mentioned you'd been asking after me at the saloon. You a reporter for the local paper?
Provisionally. I've been assigned to interview you.
Well, this is hardly the place for it.
Afraid I haven't got much choice about the venue.
Let's fix
get me out
that,
of jail,
shall we?
sir.
Gamble, how much for this fine lady's bail?
Oh, let's say, 10 crowns?
Danny, pay the man.
Here you are, sir.
Appreciate it, son.
Now then, won't you join me in my room at the Jack of Diamonds? I got a business proposition. Now that we're nice and settled, permit me to introduce my associate, Danny Luo.
We've met, actually. Not formally, I suppose. Nice to properly make your acquaintance, Miss Legere.
Likewise, Mr. Luo.
Please, you can call me Danny. Everybody does.
So, about that interview.
All in due time, Miss Legere, but I ask you to hear me out first. Danny and I are looking to get some folks together for a job, and I think you'd make a damn fine addition to the team.
What sort of job?
Ever hear of Dr. Bennett Clark?
Sure, who hasn't?
Of course. The etheric researcher. What about him?
Dr. Clark moved out here not long after the big disaster back in Lamplight City. He kept up his research, even did some demonstrations at the Opera House. Till one day, he just up and vanished. Nobody's seen hide nor hair of him in nearly a year.
So you want to find him. You said you weren't going to beat around the bush.
Okay, so get to the point already.
We're going in search of Dr. Clark's fortune.
Come again?
The feller was loaded. Somehow he managed to talk a bunch of big money investors from back east into financing his research. All those gizmos and doodads don't come cheap, you know? We find his stash, we'll all be rolling in it for years to come.
Stash? What stash? Surely it's all just numbers on a ledger somewhere.
Nope. I'm telling you, he kept his assets in cold, hard cash.
So you're looking to rob a man blind just because nobody knows where he is?
Now, nothing so uncouth as that. Picture this, a swashbuckling pirate captain, his vessel freighted with treasure. The vast fleets of law and order circling him, closing in. He digs a hole in the sands of some sun-kissed tropical beach to conceal his ill-gotten loot and makes himself scarce. Circumstance conspires to deprive him of the opportunity to return. Now, he's the brave treasure hunter who seeks and unearths the bounty guilty of robbery? Or is he just returning to the world what would otherwise lie forgotten and worthless? See, we're not after Clark's personal wealth. The money in question was meant to bankroll his etheric research. Since that's been outlawed, he can't touch it. And it's a drop in the ocean for the investors. They'll never miss it.
How many folks are you planning on bringing into this?
That depends on what we find. But I promise you, we'll all get a fair split. Enough to make it all worthwhile.
What's your plan?
Clark had a lab nearby, a couple miles outside of town. Last place anybody saw him. We poke around there, retrace his steps, and it should lead us straight to the loot.
Uh-huh.
Now, call me crazy, but I get the impression you're not entirely convinced.
Oh no, I'm completely convinced.
Why on earth would you think that? Couple of folks I don't know from Adam asked me to help them hunt for some money that probably doesn't even exist. How could I not be convinced?
I admit we're asking you to put a lot of faith in us. Hell, I'd probably be just as incredulous were I in your position.
Mr. Ackerman's a good man, Miss Leger. He's never led me astray in all the time I've known him.
I appreciate it, Danny, but I think Miss Leger's gonna need a little more than just your word. Look, I've known quite a few moneyed folk in my time. They all got one thing in common. You know what that is?
They love to spend their riches. They don't give a crap about people like us.
They couldn't give a rat's ass about folks like you and me.
I admit I cannot emphatically contradict you there, but not what I meant.
So what do they have in common?
They're good at keeping their money safe. Clark's cash is out there. I just know it. As far as your safety, you dealt with that little troublemaker outside the theater. It's plain to see you can take care of yourself.
I'm pretty good with my pistols, and Mr. Ackerman can talk his way out of anything, but we could use somebody who's good in a fight.
Besides, stick around old Jake long enough and you'll have enough material to write a whole book. Forget a measly little write-up in the local rag. I'm offering you a front row seat to a much better show. So, what do you say?
That is true. This will make a good story. Let's go.
All right, Mr. Ackerman. I'm in. At the very least, this venture should make for an interesting tale.
I'm pleased to hear you say that.
You won't regret this, Miss Leger.
We'll set out for the lab at daybreak. And please, call me Jake.
Well, guys, that was Rosewater, the demo. That was very interesting. Simple running click, very narratively driven. The voice acting is good. The choices are good. The art style is good. The setting is very interesting, and the lead up to this either money pile seems very interesting. Everything seems interesting about this game, so I'll probably pick it up, but I'll leave a link in the description for the store page, so if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. It just released not too long ago, I think less than a week ago. But if you guys like what you see, please like and subscribe and leave a comment and all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.